Hello Taurus, welcome to your reading for May 16th through to the 23rd. And as always, it's going to be general, so please take the bits that resonate and leave the other bits behind. Let's welcome in the Archangels, Ascendant Masters, light beings such as the Arcturians, Pleiadians, Sirians, Andromedans and others. And any other spirit guides that you have, as well as our higher selves and any animal, ancestral or dragon guides that you feel resonate with, Taurus. Okay, also you're most welcome to use your own intuition with the images on these cards. Okay, right, here we have the Weaver of Visions, or the Queen of Cups. Nice energy. You also have the Page of Cups, Page of Wands, and the Two of Cups. This is really interesting here, Taurus, because you have the this is the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So just recently you've, I think, really moved into like an inner child energy with regard to your creativity. Something creative you're doing that's really awakening your inner child. It could be something intuitive, it could be something spiritual, or any combination of those things. Just recently there's something that's, you know, bringing you a lot of joy, and you're feeling really happy, I think, doing that, whatever that is. Hanged Man, yeah. And you're also taking some time to, I think, really really feel into those energies, okay, with your Hanged Man here, Hanged Fae. Queen of Swords. And maybe you've had to carve out some time in your schedule so that you can be more in this beautiful high frequency energy that you've just tapped into. Okay, it could be aspects of yourself too that you're activating. I think it's something to do with creativity and spirituality. Okay, something creative and spiritual that you're doing here, and possibly intuitive, of course. And yeah, so the Queen of Swords is that energy of, for you, Taurus, being able to make those decisions in alignment with your heart space, in alignment with your wishes and what it is that you love to do. Okay. Underlying theme, we have another page energy, another Page of Cups. Okay, so definitely confirmation of your inner child and the King of Cups. So this is really nice, because I think you're holding space, you're feeling very at one with your inner child at this time, or certainly this is going to be an underlying theme, I think, that's going to come through the reading. But it's giving you a sense of calm and centeredness, and it's helping you to sort of navigate any sort of other disturbing energies that are around you. I think it's really helping you to come into center with regard to, you know, this inner child energy that you're tapping into. Okay, your creativity, your spirituality, your intuition. Yeah, you're literally holding space for yourself to do this, okay, which is really nice. And you're taking that time out, you're making decisions to support that experience for yourself, which is great. Here we have another general direction moving forward, Two of Cups. And yeah, so once again, this is another energy of you coming into connection with your inner child. Again, this is the Page of Wands, or the Child of Wands. So feeling very inspired, and maybe this is also that you're going to be really sharing that energy with someone you love, maybe a close friend or a loved one, and maybe, or it could be that you're going to meet someone in a romantic sort of connection, a romantic attraction there as well. But I wouldn't mind betting that for you and this other person, that perhaps you're both going to be feeling into this beautiful high frequency energy. That's amazing, because you have three inner child energies here. Page of Cups twice and a Page of Wands. So very spiritual, very inspirational here for you, Taurus, which is really nice. Wow, outcome, Nine of Pentacles. Four of Cups. So there may be something that is going to, in your outcome here, that could probably cause you to slow down a little bit. But maybe in terms of practical, there may be some practical things that you need to, some bases that you need to cover, practically speaking. And that maybe this is going to have the effect of slowing you down and kind of making you feel a little bit bored at times. But there's always this dolphin in the background, which is a very playful energy, also very inner child. You're literally, your Page of Cups, dolphin with a cup on its nose, is in the background there for you to partake of whenever you need it. And I guess when time allows and when you can create the time for that, to be in that energy. This is just sort of saying, I think, as one of the outcomes is that whilst this energy is beautiful and high frequency, there may still be other things that you need to take care of in like a third dimensional, fourth dimensional sense of things. Because this energies that we've started off with are very like almost, high 4D, 5D kind of stuff. Lots of cup energy, lots of spiritual connection and that type of thing. But, the Knight of Pentacles is here to say, we do have the third dimension of the material world to navigate as well. Okay, and this is what the outcome is going to be. And wow, what you may not be aware of here, Taurus, is that even though you have to navigate this third dimensional practical stuff, it's still going to be part of your alignment. It's part of your increasing your the expansion of your consciousness, and it's still in alignment for you, because we do need to be able to, we're here to sort of master all of the dimensions, because we are multi-dimensional beings, so we can master all the dimensions, right? But of course, when we go from high vibe to the lower vibe energies or environments, it can be a challenge. But this is just to do with, this is reminding you, to really tune into your higher consciousness and your ability to navigate and keep aligning with your personal truth, despite what's going on around you. Because it's like, Taurus, that you can be literally a light in the darkness. Okay. And here we have, did I say this was Justice? It's the Lovers, sorry. So this is you still coming into alignment with yourself, your higher self, your inner child and your ego, your inner child and your higher self, okay, coming into connection and finding expression. So even at times when this is, it may feel like a bit of a drag at times when you've got to go through some of the lower vibe stuff, but it's sort of saying that Spirit's saying it's all part of your evolution. Okay. Everything is here to kind of help and to increase our awareness of self and also our awareness of our strengths and our abilities, okay, to navigate come what may, kinds of things. Let's grab your spirit guidance now as well. Well, that was a very clean flip. Seven of Swords also came out in the pre-shuffle for you, Taurus. So this is that energy of Spirit saying that you may need to do some self-reflection. There could be some beautiful energies that you are sharing and being with others, but there will be times when you will need to probably go within, do some self-reflection, and to be in stealth mode. It's okay to take a bit of quiet time for self, okay, particularly if you're navigating lower frequencies. It's going to be useful for you to be able to take that time out to rejuvenate and recharge the batteries, so to speak, which could be what you're doing here with the Hanged Man at the moment in your current energy. This is mind, body, spirit, enlightenment. A higher level of self-awareness is what you're probably feeling into at the moment, Taurus. But the Seven of Swords is here to remind you that, you know, you will need to probably do that on a regular basis. You also have the Nine of Cups, wow, and the Seven of Pentacles. So we've got 2 sevens here. So Spirit's kind of saying that Nine of Cups, emotional fulfillment, beautiful cup energy, which we did start off here with your underlying theme of, you know, you holding space for yourself with your King of Cups and Page of Cups here. Your inner child, that creativity, spirituality and intuition that's been fired up and activated, and that you're definitely feeling into, and quite possibly expressing that outward into the world as well. You know, to feel into that. But there may be times when you need to, okay, do some evaluation, okay, and you know, just to see how things are going. Do you need to tweak things? And also with this 7 here, there's 2 sevens. So these are very inner reflective numbers, self-reflection, self-assessment. And just looking at your state of consciousness here, you know, being able to move into calm states and to, you know, make decisions that you need to make here, especially when you've got your Queen of Swords. You know, she's a great energy to have, that's coming forward for you in terms of your ability to make decisions in alignment with your heart and your wishes, and also with your self-care, okay, your self-love. Yeah. And the Nine of Cups is very much like a self-love energy too, so that you can fill your cups up and have ample to give out as well, okay. Yeah, let's look at the bottoms of the decks. So this is the Awakening card, or the Call in this deck. It's Council of Animals. So this is sort of also giving me vibes of, there are councils, obviously there are human councils, but there are also galactic councils, okay? So it could be that either you are on a galactic council, or it could be that you have a very strong affinity with animals or animal spirit guides, but also perhaps high frequency guides, light beings, for instance, you know, the Pleiadians, Arcturians, Sirians, and there are others as well, of course, that form various councils. And maybe you, in a different dimension, you actually sit on those councils. Because I have a feeling that you're definitely feeling into some high frequency energies at the moment, and it could be that some other council members intergalactically are contacting you, and that you are feeling into that vibe of perhaps even some camaraderie, some, you know, connections galactically speaking, because this is like the call. So there could be something in a galactic council, or someone or an energy there that's calling you, and it could be literally just a higher version of you calling you to, you know, be aware of A or B, or to move into those types of energies, but not those types of energies. You know, so anything that you feel resonant with there. King of Swords as well. So this is Heir of Air, Taurus, your ability to make decisions, to be discerning, to analyze, and to act with wisdom. The Queen of Swords is also a wise energy. So you have both of these energies here, counterparts, with the Ace of Swords. So this is sort of saying that, you know, I'm getting the feeling here that there's some higher consciousness energies, or you could even be feeling into like a monad energy, because these are masculine and feminine together, okay? Definitely possibly your higher self energy, and we're sitting next to the Council of Animals, so you could well be, you know, sitting on a higher council intergalactically, okay? Nine of Swords, this could be Spirit saying that these could be the types of energies that maybe you still are having to navigate with regard to. There could be people around you, or maybe this comes up within you at times. It may not be your own energy. This is like, you know, the sleeplessness, the anxiety, but also, you know, yeah, any sort of low vibe, maybe confusion, frustration, disappointment, which is sort of like this energy here a little bit. Because there are emotions that go along with this, even though it's a sword. energy. So Spirit's saying, you know, to really just take your time through that and apply your sevens here, your introspection, to come up with some creative, practical, maybe earthy, energetically shifting strategies that you can use to transmute the effect of this energy upon that it's having on your field, right? One thing I'm just going to say here is this is literally like a dragon hugging a tree, you know, tree hugging. I think I mentioned it last week, but standing with bare feet out in nature, really receiving those energetic frequencies from the earth is going to really help to transmute low frequencies as well. Taurus, we also have for you the Queen of Wands. So this is a beautiful, powerful, creative, transmutive energy. And as we were talking about transmuting energies, okay, it's like that, the fire that burns off lower vibe energies to kind of purification, that's the word I'm looking for, is like Spirit saying to remember that you can purify your energy field, you can purify your consciousness, you can purify your body, you can purify your environment. There is all sorts of subtle energy practices and strategies that you can use to do that. Interesting thing is that there is a Black Panther here as well. So this could be sort of maybe a suggestion that perhaps this council you're sitting on could possibly be a Syrian council. Okay, Syrian or Syrian Arcturian council or something like that. Yeah, let's grab you a Lemurian Star Child Oracle. The other collective too is like the Lyran Syrian group. Many of the Lyrans were actually feline beings, so that could be an energy that you're feeling resonant with as well, Taurus. Okay. In terms of galactics, right? Because we are becoming, you know, the more higher frequency energies that we step into, we are becoming, you know, our energy bodies are activating, our light bodies are activating, and we are becoming more and more moving into that energy of being a galactic human. Okay, let's grab you one off the top here, Taurus. Breathing. Wow. Yeah, this is coming back down into the physical, that breath, and the suit of air. Okay, the suit of swords. Not only is that talking about consciousness, it is the element of air. So this is quite relevant for you. Breathing. It says, feel your body, sensations, purity, clarity, and expression. Remember, we just mentioned purification of your energy field. Okay, so transmuting the lower vibe energies. Expression, which I think is, you know, this is definitely your creativity here. Page of Cups, King of Cups. You know, it can be very expressive, as is the Queen of Wands, very expressive. Okay. Yeah. And what else do we have? Sensations, purity. You feel your body. Yeah, so this groundedness, and this could be what the Knight of Pentacles is talking about here as well. Being really grounded, Taurus. You are a fixed earth sign, so you're probably naturally grounded, but it's reminding you to, you know, keep doing that, okay? Yeah. Breathing. So using the breath to, I guess it may be even researching that connection between the breath and the state of consciousness. So there are certain breathing practices that we can do that can shift our state of consciousness and certainly move us into a more meditative state. So that might be something that you want to look into. Just basically Google that, okay? Yeah, and a few things will come up. So, yeah, there we have it, Taurus. Really beautiful high frequency to start, and I feel like you're really feeling into those energies, you know, and I guess things are going to, you know, pull you out of that at times, but it's realizing that you have the ability to pull yourself back into it, okay? And then ultimately to just be sustaining that energy, because this is what we're all going through at the moment, is like navigating this high frequency with the low, and then we kind of, you know, it's one extreme to the other, and then eventually it's like, you know, they feel less extreme, and then it will be like the higher frequency will feel ultimately just normal, like that's what everyone's doing. Yoo-hoo, I can't wait. So Taurus, yeah, that's what I have for you. Hope that's been helpful. Look forward to your next reading. In the meantime, have a great day, a fantastic week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.